When I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Donnie and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
Take my hat off.
I'm from South Carolina, so I just.
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Moss?
Oh, my heart.
Happy 20th anniversary.
My heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? Donnie.
And dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself.
The doctor lived next door to the janitor, to the reverend, and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Donnie, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it all the more.
Letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
First name's Donnie, last name's Glover. In it to win it for the long haul, baby. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Lord, for another day. Thank you, Lord, for another week. We are here. Now, if you're here in the city of Baltimore, you know that there's a lot of talk these days about the Baltimore gas and electric situation. The mayor wants to sell the underground utilities to BG&E, where the city would lose one of its assets. And what makes this so interesting is that the voters recently voted against the city selling any of its utilities. I'm not an economist, but I do own a house. And you either own that house or you don't own that house. And sharecropping, going from a homeowner to a sharecropper just doesn't make sense. So we're going to wait to see how those details unfold. Tell you another story we have been paying attention to, and that's Port Covington. Well, they now call it Baltimore Peninsula. And it seems as if that as the money is coming in, more and more people are paying attention to Baltimore Peninsula. More and more people want a piece of it. I don't know if you recall, but for probably a decade or so, Under Armour's Kevin Plank had been going after Port Covington, and he finally got it. And if I'm calling this correctly, there was some $655 million in tips. A lot of people opposed that at the time, but as it is unfolding, just imagine if that type of investment was made in East and West Baltimore. And that's the thing about Baltimore. We just seem to be really bad planners. You look at the highway to nowhere. You knock down all of those houses, came through that black neighborhood in West Baltimore, and nothing happened. Or you look at the incredible subway system that we have, which goes from downtown Baltimore straight to Northwest Baltimore County. It has to be the dumbest piece of mass transportation in the world. If you live over around Morgan State, you'll never get to use the transportation at all. So here at bmorenews.com, and of course our new baby, blackusa.news, we cover news, cover topics, public education, black business, returning citizens, affordable housing, and universal access to health care. We take pride in our work. We have helped a lot of people, even people behind the walls. We just love what we do. I hope you find something that you love to do as much as I do. Without further ado, we're going to bring up our guest for today. Now, a lot of you know that I'm into politics, love politics. People say they're not political. Every single thing you do is political. Everything you do is political. I'm not political. Don't say anything like that. That's just hogwash. It's irrelevant. It's not true. Every single thing you do is governed by politics. If you smoke weed, it's governed by politics. If you drink liquor, if you gamble, if you have a club, a business, if you have a home, if you have children, politics is the process of determining who gets what, when, and where. And the key to it, the what, is the allocation of scarce resources, the economics. And so quite often we as a people, we vote. We vote really, really well. But have we gotten to a point of taking our political capital, all of the Black elected officials that we have, for instance, is that parlaying, translating, transferring, is that turning into money for the Black community? Because if it's not, then all we have with all of these Black elected officials is window dressing. Without further ado, I bring to you Mr. Ervin Bernard Reid. He is a legend in this state, in the DC metro area. But here's a little secret: he's rich. That means he was raised in Cherry Hill. You ever been to Cherry Hill? One way in, one way out. You better know somebody. Go out there to see a girl. You better know some. You better have a backup plan, because you gonna meet everybody at the bus stop. Ervin Bernard Reid, my man.
Donnie Glover. I'm sorry. I got to get your title right. The Emmy-nominated Donnie Glover. My man, congratulations, my brother. You've been doing it and doing it and doing it. The news before the news. Excited to talk to you on this President's Day, Black History Month. You see, I got my Wayne Curry hat on. Yep, celebrating the Black History Month with the greatest politician in the history of Prince George's County. So, but always a pleasure. Yeah.
Did you know Wayne Curry?
I know him pretty well. We spent 2 years together almost every day because I managed his campaign. So then I got to know him pretty well. I mean, you appreciate him more as time goes on. I didn't know how great he was back then until now that I'm watching other elected officials. So, Wayne was the real deal.
And I want to take you back before you met him.
Okay.
How did you get into politics?
Okay. My degree is in math. And when I was at Bowie State, my fraternity brothers talked me into running for president of the student body. I ran, I won, and I hated it. The longest year of my life to this day. But I learned the game, like you were saying earlier. Everything is political. And I learned at that point, I need to be involved, not on the front end. People always thought I was going to run for office. That had never happened. But you really did need to understand the politics, because politics is in everything we do in life. And so I saw it from the back end, especially at Bowie State, and how that whole collegiate thing works in Maryland.
Oldest HBCU in the state of Maryland.
Oh God, yeah, the oldest. I think the third or fourth in the country, Bowie, which started in Baltimore, by the way.
How many of us know that? And on that note, Baltimore is welcoming CIAA to town. Bowie is now the host. Well, Bowie is the host institution,
right?
If you will. And considering that Baltimore-Bowie connection, it's imperative. This is an event that brings millions of dollars. It was down in Charlotte, and now it's here in Baltimore. We have it for this year and I think 2 more years. Isn't that beautiful, man?
It is. It is. It's a
Big
big
ups to
event.
Mayor Jack Young.
Yeah. And I think it's the largest tournament on the East Coast, bigger than AC tournament and all of that. Yeah, so it's a big deal. It's a real deal. Yeah.
I learned last year about Claflin University. I had never, ever heard of Claflin. Down around Orangeburg, South Carolina, where my granddaddy was from.
Right.
I had no idea. My grandma, let's see, my mother's mother was from Spartansburg. But
really?
There's so much about our history, Ervin, that we don't even know. We don't even know about Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia. Most everybody in New York got Southern roots.
Right. Well, Donnie, I was born in Gaffney, South Carolina, which is about 30 minutes from Spartanburg.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I've been in Baltimore.
I never lived in South Carolina. I was born, my mother always went back to Gaffney. I have 2 other brothers, one that passed away, but we all were born in Gaffney, South Carolina. And my mother's from a little town called Cowpens in between Gaffney and Spartanburg. Cowpens, yeah. Matter of fact, if you go to the African American Museum, you'll see the Battle of Cowpens. That's in there. They talk about that there as well. So
now they're getting the museum there in South Carolina too.
Oh, are they? I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yes. Huge African American museum.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. No, South Carolina. I got Southern roots, so I know about the South pretty well.
We all could learn more.
Yeah, that's why I watch your show every day, Donnie, because you give the history. Rolling all the black media, you guys talk from a historical point. And I hated history growing up because I had bad history teachers. Love it now, but no, I love listening to you guys because that's the first thing I learned about politics. If you don't understand the history, you don't have a clue where we're headed, because those that are guiding us to a certain place are doing it based on history. And unfortunately, we don't understand history. That's why we have a lot of bad politicians, because they don't even understand how we got to where we are. And Prince George's is a classic example. It is unbelievable. Yep. So, and that's what made Wayne great. Wayne understood the history.
Okay, and you skipped the piece.
What was that?
You ran for.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I ran for office, and then I came back to Baltimore. Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear a certain name.
Oh, Talmadge Branch?
No.
He started me. That's how I first got.
That's true.
We were young Dems together. Me, him, C4, all of us were young Dems. Carleen Martin Lauer. Yeah, Carleen Martin Lauer does a lot of, So all of us were young. Bernard Young. All of us were young Dems.
Carleen Martin Lauer, the fundraiser lady. She collected pesos.
Yeah, we were all Bernard Young, all of us. Yeah, and so we were all young Dems. And Talmadge, I went to work on this campaign. I said, I'll go out for a day. I'll give him a day a week when he ran for House of Delegates in '86 and ended up managing his campaign.
Now, hold up. A cat from Cherry Hill hanging out with a cat from East Baltimore.
Yeah, that's my man. Yeah. So he taught me the game. And every week we would go see Larry Gibson and just to get some advice. And that's how I met Larry. Yeah, and Larry Gibson is my mentor, the most influential person in the history of Maryland politics. He's influenced the state with the people that he's gotten elected
of his era.
No, even today with Westmore, Wayne, you name him. When I did Angela, I'm there with Larry.
Well, I got to throw Frederick Douglass in. Frederick Douglass was from Maryland.
Oh, yeah. Not most influential, but that shaped the politics. Obviously Frederick Douglass is in a class of his own, but modern politics, it's Larry Gibson. It ain't even close. Yeah.
Did you know about Tom Smith?
No.
Tom Smith, this is early 1900s, owned the Smith Hotel.
Okay.
And he was the largest contributor then to the Maryland Democratic Party. But
Okay.
in those days, the Democrats were Republicans.
Okay.
So he'd be considered a Republican today, but he owned the Smith Hotel, a black man.
Okay.
He's in the Maryland State Archives, and he lived in the 6600 block of Reisterstown Road. This is the early 1900s. He ran a little bit of numbers.
Okay.
He was a numbers man.
Okay.
And he catered to politicians who had certain desires and needs, kind of like the block.
Okay. Okay.
Tom Smith, largest black hotelier in the United States, ran numbers. This is before Little Willie Adams came on the scene. A little bit of Maryland history.
Wow.
And of course, if you want more of that history, you can pick up that book, Unapologetically Black, or I Am Black Wall Street. I'm working on my third book. Okay, I interrupted you.
No. But that's how I got started in politics. Then I went to Prince George's, ran a race. I lost. Then went to DC, ran a council race, won. And in 90, when I met Wayne Curry, we all came together with different candidates and formed a ticket, and that ticket lost. And then I went to DC, ran the election, a guy by the name of Kevin Chavez, young lawyer, and he became the first young person to beat that old guard being Marion Barry and that group. So we broke through with that one. Then I went back to Prince George's County and worked with Wayne Curry, then Kirk Schmoke, then Angela Also Brooks, and now with my man Calvin Hawkins. So, so, it got in my blood. But yeah.
I got one more sidetracking question.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, you and I worked to help a brother who's no longer with us, my Morehouse brother, Terry Hairston.
Oh yeah. Terry was my man. He school board member in DC, real sharp brother, real smooth brother. But Terry was most definitely, for the streets. He was real close to Marion Barry, and Terry just wanted to help the least of us. And so, and real good dude, young guy, got murdered, unfortunately. Yep, he was running for the city council when that happened. And
Ward 7?
Ward 7, yeah, Ward 7, where I ran Kevin Chavis's campaign, yeah. Ward 7, interesting ward, by the way. It's when Marion Barry when I got locked up, came back, he became the council member in Ward 7. And when Marion Barry was on the ballot in Ward 7, whether he was running for mayor or for council, there were about 10,000 people that would only come out if Marion was on the ballot. So that ward went from one of the lowest voting to, I think, the number one voting precinct. There are 8 wards in DC, to like the number 1, maybe number 2. Yeah, but yeah.
Brother, explain that pride.
Okay. People did, Marion was old school. And by old school, what I mean is you felt Marion Barry if you lived in the city. One way along, your brother got locked up. Somebody called somebody that's in the neighborhood that knew Marion directly. Then Marion, you had a shot to get it taken care of. Or if your aunt, your senior 90-year aunt had a problem with rent, somebody could reach Marion. So when Marion started his budget, the first 2 things that were going to happen was this. He was going to take care of seniors and the youth. Everybody knows somebody has a family member, them themselves, that got a summer job. Every kid that wanted a job. So you felt Marion. And as time went on, people, especially the least of us, didn't feel the government. So they had, in their mind, no reason to vote.
So there was an unconditional love for Marion Barry.
Oh, no question, because they felt Marion cared about them. And it's funny, Donnie, people come to me all the time and say, Ervin, I don't understand why a Black person could vote for Trump. I do, because they have no connection to the government. They don't think the government can help them. They don't see the need. And these
are Our white brothers and sisters.
No, these are our black brothers that are
Black brothers and
Oh
sisters.
yeah, well, Trump got more votes from the black community the second time than he did the first time. But it's not that people love Trump. They wanted to show the Democrats, look, y'all can't help me, so I want y'all to be miserable too. So they don't see the need. I mean, obviously there is, but you don't see it. You don't see it.
They don't brag about it. They don't talk about it. And this is what I'm saying.
Oh no, they do.
Here in West Baltimore, it's not black addicts who are in my alley.
Okay, right.
These are addicts who do not match the majority demographic, and they are left behind. Maybe they choose to be in that situation. Maybe they refuse help. I don't know. But when I see Donald Trump, when I see that cat from Florida, the governor, what's his name, DeSantis, with this hateful rhetoric spewed out as if they don't like black people, they don't like poor people. And the truth is, upwardly mobile black people don't like poor people.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
Black or white. But in the name of racism, I remember one of the white addicts saying to me, I say, hey, lady, you got to get out my alley. You can't be eating off the ground back here, upsetting everybody watching you do this. She said, F you, with the N-word behind it. So even at the lowest, that's the mentality of some people, that because of the color of my skin, that makes me inferior to them.
Yeah.
So thank God for the unconditional love that the people of Washington, D.C. show Marion Barry. When I meet a black person that says something negative about Marion Barry, I ain't gonna tell you, I'll back up.
Okay.
Because I'm wondering, what lens are you looking through? The lens I saw every person I met in D.C. who says something good, they say, Marion Barry helped me get a job.
Yeah. He made me.
And if it wasn't no job, you got paid to clean up. Everybody. If you had a business, he would help your business. He helped black businesses. He put Bob Johnson on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be no BET if it weren't for Marion Barry.
Yeah. Washington Cable. Yeah. He
Washington Cable created black millionaires like what's his name? Donahue Peebles.
Oh, yeah. No, Don Peoples, bad brother, developer. Doing stuff all over the country. Yeah.
He created opportunities just like Maynard Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I digress. And you also didn't mention another one. I need you to speak to, and we're going to go into Wayne Curry. I got you just about where I want you. Perrin J. Mitchell.
Oh, my God. In my mind, the greatest.
He's about to get us sent to hell if we don't acknowledge him, especially on black business.
If in my mind, the greatest politician ever, Talmadge Branch, when he ran for office, worked for Perrin. Matter of fact, he was like Perrin's assistant. And so sometimes he would go to pick Perrin up and say, Ervin, I got to go get, the congressman. You want to ride with us? So it would be me, him, and Perrin a lot, man. And you talking about brilliant. This guy was brilliant.
Could he be bought?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. And he was unbeatable. Totally unbeatable. When Perrin decided not to run for Congress because he wanted to give some younger people a chance while he would still be around.
I was there.
Dude, every yard in Baltimore had a sign, run, Perrin, run. Perrin was like Marion. People understood that if Perrin went in the room, behind closed doors, you knew he was fighting for you. There was going to be no compromise. He was coming, he was going to, and he delivered. And that's the same way with Marion. You just believe that, look, he's going to fight for me. But Perrin Mitchell, man, was, oh my God, he gave a speech, probably the second greatest speech I've ever heard behind I Have a Dream. And this was in 1986. And he talked about how he said, look, we have a problem in America with the black elected officials. He said, if we don't understand that we are no longer in a civil rights mode, we're in an economic mode. And if we don't figure it out pretty quickly, we're going to be on reservations, new reservations. And these reservations are called prisons. And, and if you look around, he's a visionary leader. And he was right. I thought he was on crack. What the hell he talking about? Prisons and yep. And then come the crime bill, all this stuff. And next thing you know, we have all of these people being locked up that look like us. But parents saw it and preached it. And obviously nobody was really listening. But yeah, but nah, he just was. They told me the man studied a word a day. His vocabulary was just unreal. But I mean, Perrin would walk down the street. He could walk anywhere, anytime. Everybody loved Perrin. No, I mean, he was just, they loved him. And I remember he would ask a, guy out there hustling, man, give me $1, man. Oh, here you go, Congressman. Me like, nah, I'm just, So he was just, yep. Everybody they just felt Perrin had your back, and that's the problem with the Democratic Party, especially with the low end. Because again, I'm on the street all the time campaigning. It's like, dude, nobody got their back. They feel so. But no, Perrin Mitchell is, in my opinion, the greatest politician of all time. Obviously, his work with the 8A bill and creating
8A certification, creating some black millionaires.
Black millionaire, yeah. He understood economics. He understood civil rights and how all that worked, probably like nobody else. And he was just a good person. Yeah, cared about people, but. He'd stand up and punch. Yeah, he'd take a punch and hand it back out too.
I was writing for the Afro at the time that he went into hospice care. And the Sun paper, the Baltimore Sun, had 2 reporters. It's Black History Month, so I'm going to spare you the black reporter's name. He moved to Florida after that incident, though. They snuck into Perrin J. Mitchell's hospice room.
I remember that.
And so I called the CEO of the Baltimore Sun. They referred me to, I guess, the COO and then to the CFO. But the first person that I got on the phone was Sandy Beniski. I think she was the editor at the time. I said, Miss Beniski, this is Donnie Glover calling on behalf of the Afro-American newspaper. Any comment on your 2 Sun reporters who snuck into the hospice room of former Congressman Perrin J. Mitchell? Brother, you could hear a pin drop. They could not believe this young reporter had the audacity to call the Baltimore Sun on the carpet. Front page story. I was getting all front page stories, but that was particularly meaningful because while we don't have as much money and resources as the Baltimore Sun, I mean black press in general, we still can be effective. They say if you think one person can't make a difference, try spending the night with a mosquito.
Yeah.
We had to let them know that you don't do that to our legends.
Yeah.
I didn't know half of what you know about Perrin J. Mitchell, but I grew up hearing his name. I mean, you're a couple days older than me, right?
Few. Yeah. Yeah, but no, I remember that Donnie. Yeah. And but unfortunately,
shameful.
What's that?
Shameful.
Yeah.
And that's where black media is important. Ervin, there was a time when the black media, the black politician, the black church, the black business people, we were one like a fist.
And Donnie, that is why people always ask Ervin, what do we need to do, to change our path? It starts with the black media because, no disrespect, but, Fox or CNN or, same thing to me. You're getting the news that some editor wants to send to you. They're directing us, and we as African Americans have to stop hating on one party over another party or this group over that group, because the bottom line is we need to care about us. Marion was famous for saying, look, I like Jews, I like white folk, I like Asian folk, but I love black folk. And we need real black media, people telling us what the truth is, because you're never going to understand the truth because they're never going to give it to you. I mean, if you look at what's going on with education all over this nation, I grew up in Cherry Hill. I had a first-class education. I'm telling you now, we had instruments. You want to play an instrument? We went to gym every day. We had the travel club. We went out of town, traveled
How the hell
overnight.
did you get a better education then than our children are getting today? I do not understand this.
I do.
It's absolutely insane. What used to be up, what used to be normal is now abnormal. What's abnormal is now normal. What the hell happened? More money, $15 billion through the Maryland State Lottery. Congratulations to Craig Thompson. He's being nominated for the board to head the Maryland Stadium Authority.
Oh, okay.
$15 billion. New baseball stadium, new football stadium. They just closed classes in September because it was too hot. What in the hell is going on?
Is that a problem, Donnie?
Yeah, it's a damn problem.
Okay. Do you think it's by design?
Well,
see, a lot of people.
It's got to be. They built the stadium.
Yeah.
They built the stadiums. They had a problem building the stadium with them $20 hot dogs. I like Memorial Stadium. I ain't gonna lie. I know it was old, but it was homey. It was homey, and we had memories. We walked down 33rd. Probably some of our first time black and white walking down 33rd Street together.
Yeah, that's true.
In this segregated city, home of segregation.
Yeah, but no, things that happen, they happen by design. It ain't by accident. We wonder what happened. You don't take, gym out of school, libraries out of schools.
Musical instruments. We had an orchestra in elementary school, an orchestra.
Right. Yeah, but that's by design, Donnie. It ain't by accident. I mean, the Santos is showing you down in Florida. We don't want to teach y'all Black history, because if we do that, then y'all will understand where you came from. And somebody's going to have to apologize.
Florida has some strong Black history. If you don't know, get my book. Florida, that's where it all started.
Right.
And the first Black man there was not a slave. He was a free man.
Okay. That was a French colony, right, at first?
Spanish, right.
Spanish, yeah.
Spain owned it until 1831.
Okay.
Spain said, hey, Black people, if y'all escape here to Florida, we'll give you your freedom if you fight for the crown and convert to Catholicism.
Okay.
Black people were escaping to Florida and were the indigenous peoples.
Okay.
So the Black Seminoles and the Seminoles, all of that together, unstoppable. They were not slaves. They fought their way out of freedom. Largest slave insurrection in American history. Go look it up. The Second Seminole War.
Okay.
It's our history, but it gets convoluted and polluted and mixed together and tossed out. They even had a thing where this commission called the Dawes Commission, they'd be like, Donnie, you are Native American, but Ervin, you are African. See, there were Black Indians here before the European got here.
Okay.
But somebody said, well, your hair is straight, so you must be an Indian and your hair is kinky. But that's not a way to determine somebody as from being indigenous.
Right.
There were Black people already here when the European arrived. We had been coming here by ourselves. That's why we got to learn our history, because people who don't know their own damn history trying to tell you about yours. Yeah. You had never heard that Spain accepted runaway and escaped Africans.
No.
You never heard that.
Never knew that. Yeah. Yep.
We damn near 60 years old and haven't heard about some of our glory. I never heard about Black Wall Street, but people know about Black Wall Street now.
Yeah, they do.
I'm working on my third book. Okay, so let's get back. What did you learn from Wayne Carey?
Man, Wayne taught me that politics is a full contact sport.
Damn right. Put them up.
If you gonna get in it, you gonna get hit. And you need to learn how to swing back.
Damn right. And harder.
Yeah. And he also taught me it was a chess game. It's not checkers. Wayne was always at least 5 to 10 years ahead of everybody. And that's why he was feared by the establishment, because he understood the game as well as they did. He's like a Billy Murphy. When it comes to law, Billy ain't afraid to go to the courtroom with anybody because he thinks he's smarter than everybody. And so does Wayne. When it comes to politics, yeah, Wayne was that guy that was 5 or 10, and he wasn't afraid. And Wayne wasn't trying to wait. And, well, Wayne, we're going to get you now. You ain't getting me next year. Yep. When the checks are being handed out, I want to be at the front of the line. Every year that he would go to Annapolis during the session is from January, like middle of April, and where they divide money, resources. Wayne's like, yep, time to go to Annapolis. Time to get what Prince George's is owed, and some of Montgomery's, and some of Baltimore's, and some of Howard's. He didn't go down there to get what was Montgomery. He went to get as much as he could, because that's the game. We have people all the time that says, well, Ervin, especially when people are elected, they put their cabinet together, and they were Ervin, they represent everybody. You ain't never heard the Jews say, well, we're going to get some of this Israel money back because, we need to look out for everybody. The gays.
Israel gets more money than all of the Arab nations combined.
Right. And they're not apologetic about it. We got to get into that mentality about politics. Politics is about getting as much as you can get whenever you can get it. There's no, let's be fair. And that's
your point is, when you have a Barack Obama as president, all you want to see is dollars to the black community. You don't hear nothing. You ain't hearing nothing else.
I ain't hearing about, he represents everybody. Every president represents everybody. But that don't stop. Yeah, the gays, he did a lot for gay people. They still were upset when he got reelected. Well, we didn't get this, that. No, that man changed our whole course. But that's the game, Donnie. And that's what Wayne took. That is the game. And the other thing is, there's no, can't be done. We can't give everybody, we can't provide medical insurance for everybody because, but when that COVID rolled around, them trillions started rolling out the door. Yes, we can. I mean, the government can do what it wants to do, but it's not a priority. You talked about Baltimore schools. They're not a priority. Nobody's trying to educate black kids.
Baltimore and Prince George, the race for the bottom. So with this black governor, for me, Baltimore and Prince George's need a task force. These are two majority black jurisdictions that are consistently in the basement. Something is fundamentally wrong, and I'm not at all blaming this current governor. But I do want to see some immediate attention paid to these two public school jurisdictions, because had it not been for Prince George's and Baltimore black voters, not only would there not been a Wes Moore, there wouldn't have been a Larry Hogan. And before that, there wouldn't have been a Robert Early. That Baltimore, and I write about that in my first book, Unapologetically Black, that it was the black politicals in Baltimore and Prince George's. It's like an axis, a powerful axis. When those two are on the same page, that the candidate they support win. Unquestionable.
Yeah.
Then they were like, oh, is West going to beat this Republican? He got Baltimore, Prince George's. He cannot lose. I don't care how much they come out the woodwork. These people voting on the same page, do not lose.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Donnie, I remember in 1998 when then Governor Paris Glendenning was running for re-election. And Wayne Curry, again, county executive of Prince George's, and Kirk Schmoke, mayor of Baltimore, refused to endorse Paris Glendenning until they sat down with him and talked about education for Baltimore and Prince George's. Keep in mind, unlike Mississippi, unlike Louisiana, Maryland is a rich state. Maryland can educate every kid. And Paris Glendenning refused to do it. And I used to get calls all the time from elected of Ervin, Wayne going to blow it. He's going to get a Republican elected. Because Glendenning's race 4 years earlier was against a woman named Ellen Sauerbrey. And she almost beat him. without the party, the Republican Party, you know. So Wayne, they feared that Wayne and Kirk was going to cause her to get elected. But Wayne told me, he said, Ervin, I don't give a damn about Democrat or Republican. I care about those kids. And we need to get as much as we can get for those kids in this rich state. And until we get it, I'm not endorsing them. And I said, oh, so if you sit down with we want to meet with Glendenning, then we're going to have a press conference. And he's going to tell the world what we all agreed to. So he can't go back on his word. And then only then will I endorse him. And I said, well, if he cut the deal, so you're going to be, he said, well, before I cut the deal, though, I'm going to go back to Sour Braid, see if I can get a better deal from her. So if I get it, then I'm going to go with her. This ain't
so
about.
You just taught me something.
Yeah, Wayne, but Wayne and Kirk ended up endorsing Paris Glendenning because our first black president, as they called him, Bill Clinton, called them and told them he was going to start messing around with their HUD funds and some other stuff if they didn't get on board. Because, you know, Glendenning's lieutenant governor was who? It was Kennedy.
KKT.
Right. So you had Ted Kennedy them saying, look, Bill, y'all got to do something with those boys over there because they're going to keep my niece from becoming governor. So it's all, no one cares.
You almost made me cuss. I've never cussed like I was about to cuss on that topic right there.
Yeah, see, it wasn't with politics. It's not about the people. Yeah,
I remember her. Well, she learned it was about the people.
Oh yeah, she learned. Yeah,
she learned.
Yeah.
See, they so busy trying to teach us a lesson, and then the Clintons come back around and needed our help again.
Yeah.
See, be careful how you go around flexing on people when you're strong, because one day you're gonna be weak, and them same people gonna remember that you punched them in their mouth.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't vote for Hillary. No way, no. I saw what happened. This is for. Think about it, Donnie.
Oh, don't you can't talk about Hillary Clinton. You know these black people in love with Hillary Clinton, even though she stepped on Haiti, even though her husband locked up more black people than anybody in history.
Right.
Omnibus crime bill in 94. You can't talk about Bill Clinton. He smoked weed in the house, in the White House. He was black. No, he wasn't.
Right. But that's politics.
Willie in the Excelsior Hotel in Little Rock. We know about Slick Willie.
But yeah, so yeah, but you know, like I said, man, that's it's politics is what it is. You got to understand why people doing what they do. But Wayne, matter, it's funny because when Glendenning got endorsed, he didn't even know it. So instead of Kirk and Wayne getting together and do the thing with they endorsed him, and then he was at some event and a reporter. So what do you think of Wayne and Kirk's endorsement? He didn't, Yeah, okay, I got it, yeah. So, but it was the Clinton administration that forced them to do it because they threatened to take away other money. And so, but again, it's just my example when people say why our kids don't have to read, because they don't care about that. Yeah, things happen in government that people care about. You want to know what's going on, just follow the money. Yeah, it's real simple. Yeah. Politics, again, it's about people that have power want to maintain power. Racism involved, racism is involved in everything when you have a group of people, but it's more about power, not trying to give up power. Like Mike Miller, who's the president of the Senate for years, the longest serving Senate president, state president in the history of the United States, was a powerful man. People would ask, is Mike racist? I don't know. I don't think so. But Mike is about power and maintaining power.
It seemed like he was a racist to me.
Why is that?
Because all I ever heard was stories of him threatening and intimidating, questioning, grilling black people. Black leaders. He
did, trust me, he did that to white people as well. Yeah, a lot of them got scars. Mike was about the power. Mike Miller to me is how he played the game.
Power over what? Power to do what?
Power to maintain the economics of the state the way he wanted to see it happen.
Okay, well, did he have anything good to say about Baltimore?
No, I heard he said something really bad about Baltimore.
Baltimore shit house.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But he's not from Baltimore. I remember seeing him on Pennsylvania Avenue. And if he wasn't a racist, then he was a mean politician.
No, he wasn't a mean politician. He was an effective politician.
It
That's
wasn't,
the game.
he wasn't effective for us. He was the leader of their team, not my team.
Right.
I don't hear his name in the same category as the Perrin J. Mitchell.
I'm not going to call him Perrin, but you got to give him his credit. It's like black people back in the day didn't like Larry Bird. That don't mean he couldn't play ball. What I'm telling you, I wish we had politicians that looked like us that were like Mike. Marion Barry was no different than a Mike Miller. Marion Barry was going to force you to do certain things for his people. That's the game. Everybody want to act like we're going to go up in there. He going to be fair. Mike ain't going to be fair. Mike
is racist because black people are 9-1 Democrats in Baltimore, and we don't get a damn thing for our blackness.
Because we don't stand up. What Wayne Curry tried to do every year was bring all black folks, especially in Prince George's, together. Prince George's County is the largest Democratic voting bloc in the state of Maryland. And Wayne, we should say, look, y'all, when we go to Annapolis, we need to get A, B, C, or D, or we ain't voting Democrat. Bottom line. But, well, no, Wayne, you can't do this, Wayne. No, that ain't on Mike. If Mike gonna punk you and take your money, that's on you. That's the game you in. Because Wayne was gonna punk you and take your money. He didn't go to Annapolis to get Prince George. He went to get Montgomery, Howard, and everybody. Yeah, he's going to cut the deal that needs to be cut for him. That's what Mike plays the game. It's so hard. It's a gangster game, Donnie. Drug dealers out there, no, I will take you out. That's the same. It's politics. This ain't about, I like you, this, that, the other, bam, bam, bam. No, it's about, the game is about hardball politics. Nancy Pelosi is a gangster. Yeah, she won't have that nonsense they had this year, who going to be chip. Nah, that nonsense was decided before we started. Or Nancy was going to cut you. You were going to disappear. Shit was going to happen, pardon the language. Yeah, but she is a gangster. That's why she was maybe the most effective speaker ever. She played hardball politics. So if you going in there talking about he didn't look out for you, ain't on his team. He ain't going to look out for you. There are a lot of white boys that tell you, Mike cut my stuff, did this too. Mike had a point. Bowie State, Mike went to the University of Maryland. And anything that Bowie tried to do, if it affected the University of Maryland, it wasn't going to happen. For example, Bowie built a brand new fine and performing arts center, maybe about, 3 or 4 years ago. And the largest venue auditorium in there is smaller than the ones when I had back in 79. Because Maryland also built a brand new fine and performing arts center. And we're about 25 minutes from the University of Maryland. So we were going to have Bowie's competing for, Alvin Ailey or some type of Disney event. No, you can't do nothing down Bowie. He looks after those things that he want. And that's the type of politician you need. That's the game. Most people in Annapolis, man, they're totally ineffective. Mike Miller was, you call him what you, look, I like his politics. I just wish, I was on his team. Yeah, because stuff was going to happen if you're on Mike's team. It's all about power. He wasn't going to relinquish it. He was going to take it. Yeah, if you went to school, he took your lunch money, then he's going to keep on taking it. But we got, look, the state of Maryland's legislature, there's enough black legislators down there to stop any bill. Our HBCUs didn't have to go to court. No, they had O'Malley. Ain't no bill coming out of here, dude, until we address this. So that ain't on them. That's on there. That's gangster.
Our black politicians were supporting gay marriage when it came to O'Malley.
What's that?
Our politicians were busy supporting gay marriage. They were not speaking up for HBCUs.
Right. So we can't get mad
it fell on deaf ears. I remember Kiefer Mitchell doing backward somersaults when the bill passed. It's like, slow down, pimp. That's not an issue in this community.
Right.
We're down here fighting for something else. I'm not saying it's not a priority, but it's not our first priority.
But Don, you got
anywhere in the black community. We're trying to get money for education. How do our issues get usurped with somebody else's issues?
Because we allow it to happen. Because we don't have Mike Miller in them. Mike Miller, that's what it's a gangster game.
I'm sick of talking about him because I could have sworn he looked like the Grand Poobah of the KKK. But okay, you got a new book coming out.
Yep, I'm working on it. Yep.
I understand it's about science, technology, engineering, and math. And I think this is where I am to ask you about you and how did you become a mathematician?
Okay. It started when I was in the first grade. Growing up, I was real shy. And we used to have to, we would do spelling in class, but you had to speak out. And I remember when I would always get nervous. And so when the teacher called on me, my teacher, Miss Robinson, I can remember it like it was yesterday. She gave me some word, and I was so off on the word that the class started laughing. So then she went around the room, came back, gave me an easy word. And again, I'm so, I'm shy and I'm nervous. So I said something and, class started laughing again. So went around the room. So now she gave me a layup and she said, Ervin, spell up. I said, P-U. Oh, you thought I was Richard Pryor, but they on the floor, everybody laughing. But when we did arithmetic, we went to the board. I didn't have to speak. So that's when I fell in love with arithmetic because, okay, I've jumped in arithmetic, both feet in, like somebody slapped my mama. And all through school, I just enjoyed math because I couldn't, and plus I was real small. I was like the shortest, smallest person in my class in the 6th grade. I started to grow a little when I hit the 7th. And every time I would tell somebody, Dalton, what's your favorite subject? I would say math. Oh, that's so hard. And it made me, again, I'm a little guy, so it made me, my ego started building on. Yep. So that's how I really started. I fell in love with math. Did real well on the SATs, but went to Northwestern back then in 75. I didn't know that I actually had a scholarship to several schools. Yep. So when I was at Bowie State, went to Bowie State, and I was in calculus class, and my professor said, Ervin, you're really good. You ever thought about majoring in math? Okay, I'll major in math. And that's how I became a mathematician. And once I started taking math, I took computer science. They didn't have computer science back then. So when I took computer science courses, man, I felt
had the little punch cards.
We had the punch cards. Yep, the Hollerith cards. Yep.
Hollerith cards.
Yep. Yeah. So it was, yep. So I fell in love with computer
and you went
science.
to Northwestern.
Went to Northwestern, graduated 75. Yep.
Was Boyce Mosley there at the time?
That was the principal. Yep.
I remember. What do you remember? I remember Boyce Mosley was on Square Off.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yes. He was a regular guest on Square Off.
Donnie, other than wrestling and my math classes, I really don't remember. I didn't really particularly care for high school. I went, came back. Again, I was shy. My shyness left me when I went to Bowie State.
You wrestled what weight?
Wrestled 100 when I got there. I was like 98 pounds when I got to Northwestern. And then in the end, I wrestled my senior year then I wrestled 107 my 11th grade year, and then my 12th grade year, 114 or 121, depending on where the competition was.
Who was the wrestling monster back then in public schools in Baltimore?
It was probably a guy named Henry Render from Gilman. He was a beast. He wrestled varsity. He lost his senior year. The one match, that was the first time he ever lost. He wrestled varsity. I wrestled varsity 3 years too. And I'm trying to think of the guy. He was from McDonough that beat him. So Dunbar had a great team. Dunbar always had a great team.
When I got to Dunbar, I wrestled 2 years, but the beast at Dunbar was Robert Register, a.k.a. Skeet, and he was known for beating Chipperelli.
Okay. Yeah, no, they were
unheard of. But this cat trained like a champion. I mean, every day, every calisthenic, every push-up, this cat, it was like working out with Muhammad Ali.
Okay, yeah.
How Muggs and Reggie were in basketball, that's how Skeet was in wrestling. And wrestling, you can't point the finger to nobody else, can you?
That's why I loved it. Yep, it was me and him. Yep.
And you don't want to lose at home. Oh, my God. Lose across town. Don't lose at home.
Yes, and we wrestled the School of the Blind. You really didn't want to lose the School of the Blind because you're going to get...
oh, my God.
24/7.
Whoa! Yeah. And the blind, man! You got to be extra mean.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's one of those sports. Yeah, because I remember,
Because the blind guy ain't got to see you.
yeah, yeah, and you can't let his
not like a
hands go.
boxing match. The blind, all you got to do is, that's his shoulder, drag it underneath. Woo!
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you all hemmed up. Ah!
Yeah, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work.
It was fun. Was winning, not getting pinned in front of the home audience. All them girls you gotta look at, like you put your head down.
Teaches you discipline though, because you can't eat. I'd have to lose 10 pounds, during the week. I gain it back during the weekend.
Take soft pills.
Yeah, take this. Yep, for the cramps. Yeah, no, it was real discipline. It taught me I could do anything after wrestling. Yeah.
Damn Skippy.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody trained harder than us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this book, why are you writing the book?
Well, one of my dreams, and I wrote a book earlier called Fear the Nerd. Yeah, and this was it right there. I wrote this about 10 years ago, and but it's sort of outdated now. And because, like I was telling you, when I grew up, I didn't have role models. I just became an accidental mathematician. And had I known what an engineer was, other than somebody that drives a train, or if I'm an actuary or an engineer and all of that, then that's probably what I would have done, with a passion. I got a good friend.
What is an actuary? I can't let that slide, because I thought the major in actuarial science. What is an actuary?
People that predict the future, like insurance company hire actuaries that so they trying to figure out how much to charge and all of that based on accidents and stuff like that. So that's what actuaries do.
I was just told that they have a new technology out here in Teslas, that Tesla sells its own insurance.
Okay.
And they can tell by the way you drive how much they charge you. If you drove reckless last month, your rate is higher.
Wow. Okay.
The car knows how close you got to other cars,
yeah.
how much you were speeding, how many fast turns you made. AI. Where does AI fit into your whole STEM?
Well, AI has really been around since the 60s. It's not like it's something that's new. What happens in technology, especially in the past, software was always ahead of hardware. So people were coming up with things, but you didn't have hardware that could make it happen. Like your phone, this phone right here, is more powerful than the computers we had at Bowie. And
I was looking at a Palm Pilot the other day. The Palm Pilot was smaller and lighter.
Right.
But it all started with that Palm Pilot. That was the beginning of the revolution. Then the BlackBerry came. You got a BlackBerry? Yeah. I'm riding a bike with a BlackBerry. Next thing I know, I sweated that joint out. They weren't ready. They weren't ready for that next level.
Well, they didn't have batteries and things like that, though, Donnie, that could keep the thing powered. The technology, the vision was there a long time ago. They just didn't have the technology. I don't know if you remember what's the little thing from Apple that had the music on it? The what do you call it? The first things that came, you put your music on it and walk around the
Walkman.
No, Walkman came in, but it was real small. It came out from Apple. I think I was reading Steve Jobs' book. He just happened to be in China, and they came up with this new battery, and this battery could power. So the vision to get all that done and the technology, the software, but then he had an iPod. He had a battery that was small enough to fit in there, just like so you needed power and things like that. Computers used to be in these huge rooms. I was a programmer when I went to Bowie, a Fortran programmer. But you had these computers with you.
God, I haven't heard that word in forever. Fortran.
Loved it. Yeah. Taught COBOL at Bowie.
COBOL. Woo.
Yeah. So, but now, so he just happened to be there and saw this battery that he could put in this small device. And that's why the iPod came out with your music and all of that. So it's once the hardware catches up. But this AI thing, man, this thing is scary.
As you talk, I got to mention, there's a book right over there on the shelf by John Naisbitt, Megatrends and Megatrends 2000. We had to read that back in the 90s. And our professor wanted us to understand that the Southeast Pacific Basin is the hub of future technology. You said that that Japan had came up with this technology, but the Asians, they'll take something simple and make it more efficient. And my God, they are efficient at packaging and selling stuff around the world.
Right.
They can put a foam mattress in a box. I've seen it. I couldn't believe it. I said, that is not a mattress in there. I will not believe it is a mattress in a box.
But Donnie, what we have in America, though, they're not, if you look at their education, at least in the past,
we're lazy.
They were real strict, like on sciences, but you need that creative piece. Like,
they took the math and the art, they took the arts and the music out.
Right. They were, and when you get like Steve Jobs was, the great Apple, but Steve was also a drug user. Yeah, so he was thinking of stuff, doing this, that, and the other. Steve Jobs wasn't a great programmer. Like Bill Gates and my man from Facebook, they were great programmers and great marketeers, whereas Steve Jobs was a great marketeer.
You said a great guy from Facebook.
Yeah, Zuckerberg. See, Zuckerberg's a great programmer. Very seldom.
He might be great, but they censor black people. I never heard of Facebook jail until I landed in it.
Yeah. Oh no, everything, Donnie.
They don't want black people in this metaverse.
I don't know if they don't want us as much.
They don't want unapologetically black. As long as you come in and stay within the parameters, as long as you know the rules.
Well, Donnie, it's all about money.
Once you go talking about, it's about money.
It's about money. Yeah, if you can help them make money, yeah.
It's just not just money. No.
Well, no, there's racism.
No. Was it an MP3 player?
Yeah, it was MP3. Yep. Yeah. But Donnie,
these people about censoring. I've seen it. If you go in there and you're talking about positivity.
What do you mean? Donnie, everything, look, man, certain people is about control. Yeah, they want to control. They want to keep control and maintain control and do what they got to do. But it's just like, look, I look at the technology industry like I look at music. Dude, hip hop and all of that changed the world. We can change anything we want to change.
What do we own in that?
That's on us. We got to stop getting mad at people owning our stuff and we give it to them. Yeah, no, we give up what we get, what we create and act like somebody owes. Nah. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Nobody wants you in. You go to Silicon. Nobody wants you to be in charge of this, that, and the other. If you're not on their page, well, they're going to get because they want to maintain control. And it's just like they
don't control nothing.
They being who?
Whoever they are, they don't control. They can't make the sun rise.
Right.
They can't make the moon come up at night. So whatever they think they control, just like the heroin game. You remember in The Godfather where they talked about heroin? What they say about the heroin? Who they say give the heroin to?
Donnie, I've never seen a Godfather movie.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what they said. They said get a heroin to the N-word, to the black people.
Okay.
So when I look out in my alley, I don't see black people. I see people who don't match the majority demographic. And my point is, when you don't serve humanity, when you try to serve only a segment, well, go round, come around. I don't care who you are, black, white, Jew, Gentile. How you treat people is going to come back on you, whoever you are. Nobody ducks karma. I ain't met nobody that bad.
But Donnie, Silicon Valley ain't about humanity. That's all I'm saying. Politics ain't about humanity.
Everything is about humanity.
It's about
everything.
It's about money. Follow the money trail. What they're gonna do is
about humanity.
Yeah.
These same people want to destroy Mother Earth and go find a planet somewhere else to destroy. You think God gonna let you go mess up another planet?
Right. Okay.
And that's not about man. Man, we're so We always think it's about us.
We who?
Humans,
Okay.
mankind. We think it's all about us.
We did.
We don't even understand that there's life beyond this planet.
Okay. Okay.
That we fit into a broader universe. And
Okay.
either we're going to learn how to live in it and do right by it, or we will destroy ourselves. This world is one damn blink from it right now.
Okay.
Chinese balloons are going over the United States, and we sitting there talking about, yeah, I can beat China. You're a mathematician. How many people are in the United States? Under 400 million. How many people are in China? 1.4 billion.
Right. But a
And
nuclear weapon.
We talking tough Tony.
A nuclear weapon evens all of that out, though, Donnie.
Nobody wins in a nuclear war.
Right.
Nobody wins. We all die. We
that's
all
the thing
die.
that keeps us from going to war.
And we get all of our stuff from China. Pick up any damn thing around you. Made in China. You know what? It is about humanity. Why is China so angry at the rest of the world? Could it be that Great Britain owned Hong Kong for 150 years and treated them like a stepchild in their own house?
Okay.
For 150 years, England, Great Britain controlled Hong Kong. That's like China's New York City. Controlled it. You mock shit. They finally got it back in 1997, and the West said that China was going to destroy Hong Kong. That's why Taiwan needed to just like probably be humble. What Kendrick Lamar say? Shut up, be humble, sit down.
Okay.
Taiwan can't do nothing with China, and America can't do nothing with China. And you go dropping bombs, well, it's the end of humanity. And then they teaming up with Russia. And why are we fighting over Ukraine? You're a politician. We sent $50 billion to Ukraine. I'm seeing all of the new, y'all just got a new recreation center down there in Cherry Hill. But I'm looking at all the recreation centers we never got rebuilt in Baltimore. 24th and Greenmount. Cecil Kirk, where the new recs at? Easterwood. Bentlow, where are our new recs? $15 billion through the Maryland Stadium Authority. Yeah, it's about people. Yeah, it's about us.
No, because if it was about humanity, you'd have the new Rex, because Maryland can afford to do it. Yeah,
they won't do it because it's black people we're talking about, and that's racist.
Well, black people are making decisions too, or in position to make decisions. Whether they do it or not, that's on them. Same thing was in D.C. with Maryland. Maryland like, no, we want to do this. I'm changing up the game. Prince George is the same thing. If they're going to let people dictate what they're going to do.
Black, but they wouldn't make these kinds of moves that Marion Barry did. What Maynard Jackson do when they were building Hartsfield International? Because we had a $1.8 billion expansion of BWI Thurgood Marshall. We were focused on the name change. Me, myself, because I went to Poly for a couple of years, I heard that $1.8 billion expansion of BWI. And I'm saying, where the money? Let's go get that money. Let's go get them contracts. Lillian Jones wreck. Look at Lillian Jones wreck. Right over there in the middle of Freddie Gray. Lillian Jones wreck, named after a black woman. I'll tell you what happened to Lillian Jones. They shut it down. Little girl got killed in front of her, 13 years old. Got shot dead right in front of Lillian Jones wreck.
How long ago was that?
A year ago.
Wow.
Year and a half. Middle of COVID. Got shot in front of everybody. Nobody saw a thing. So, yeah, we play a role in this, too. We accept certain things, too. But shoot, my loved one dead in broad daylight? That's like them robbing Sheila Dixon of the election twice in broad daylight. Broad daylight. This is a stick up. Any of y'all got something to say? Oh, give me that.
Well, Donnie, don't you, when you run a campaign, you expect it to be, you expect to be robbed? You should.
Not by the Board of Elections.
Okay, well, I go in expecting to get robbed. Every campaign, I expect to get robbed. So now I got to beat you bad enough so I can win. Hey, look, it's the game. It is what it is. Let's
Baltimore,
not get there.
it's easier to win the governor of Maryland than it is to win the Baltimore City mayor's race.
And you know that before you go in. So you know you're gonna get. It's like you got a little league team, and you Baltimore playing, let's say Columbia, and you know what in a restaurant, you know what to expect. Okay, y'all, we're gonna have to, really run over some folk. Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, a lot of times I meet people.
I know, but you're not expecting a black person to participate in the sabotage of the black community. You're not expecting an Armstead Jones to be the one that misses 1,800 voting irregularities in one damn city compared to 200 in the rest of the state combined. 1,800 in Baltimore City, 200 in the rest of the state. Okay. No, that's a straight up stick up.
Okay. Hey. I thought I knew Darius's name. Yeah, the name's real familiar.
They call him George. What's up, my brother? They call him the mayor of Sandtown. They call me the unofficial mayor, but that's the mayor of Sandtown, George Hall.
Okay.
Another man who can walk down the street and everybody knows him.
You're going to have to hook me and him up again, man, at some point.
No problem.
Yeah, yep.
No problem. We're going to get up out of here. We done went way over time. Was there anything we didn't plug? I wanted to make sure we plugged the book. When is the book coming out?
I'm trying to get it out like around October. Again, it's going to be about women, black women in technology. And I want to do somebody, like back in the early days, with like could start with Betsy Coleman, who was the first black woman to get a pilot's license. And her story, man, is so inspirational. People that think they can't do something today, especially our young black girls and young black boys, man, what she did was so phenomenal. I mean, she grew up, her father was Native American, mother was black, back in Texas. They were poor. She never finished high school. But then this is back in the day where they didn't have airports and planes just flying around. And she wanted to be a pilot, because they moved to Chicago when she got older with her brother. And the people would come back from war and talk about these planes. So she couldn't get a pilot's license. This is like around 1921. She couldn't get a pilot's license in the U.S. because she was black. So she had to go to France. Again, she never graduated high school. She couldn't speak French. But there was like, one of the black guys back in the day, like a Little Willie and them, that would, help folk out. So they sent her over there to France. She got a license. Eventually, she got a plane. And then eventually, she actually died on a plane crash in her own plane. But her whole story, every obstacle. And then, because what's happening now, Donnie, with STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, there's an element, a lot of studies show that we don't have enough focus on, and that's role models. So my book and what I'm trying to do is all about, I want to tell their story. So people, because again, growing up, one of the worst things that ever happened to people like me, but I happen to love arithmetic and math. And people, when I would tell them, oh, that's hard. No, you must be real smart. No, I just happen to like it. And so we got to stop telling kids stuff is hard because you can't do it. We got to give them role models. Ursula Burns is probably one of my favorites. She should be, every little black girl in America should know who Ursula Burns is. Ursula Burns grew up in Brooklyn. She was black, she was poor, and she had and she was female. In all of her life, that's all she heard. You'll never be anything because you're black, you're poor, and you're a female. And, her mother was single moms, sent her to Catholic school. And so when she graduated, she did go to NYU. She had to take remedial courses because, she really wasn't prepared. And she got a degree in engineering, went to work with Xerox, as an intern. She wasn't
prepared. She was denied the access that she should have gotten.
Oh, no, she should have gotten, but she wasn't deterred that I didn't, and then, she started and then she became the first black woman CEO of a Fortune 500 company at Xerox. And so, but those stories, but her background, most of the black women, especially back in the day, they all had obstacles that you wouldn't believe. And but that's what I wanted. I just want to tell the story for all those people. Every time I tell somebody I have a degree, man, oh, you must be smart. Just, yeah, okay, I'm no smarter than anybody else. But I want role models, and that's what my book is about. Then it'll be about, I'm going to do 4 mini autobiographies, just like I did in my first book about people in technology, people like Tim Berners-Lee. No one's ever heard of him. All he did was
hold that book over again. I'm up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And again, it has fun fact. It's a funny book. It's about, I tell the stories in a way that, that are interesting. I don't go about, they went to this college. No, I talk about the funny things that people do. And then it'll be a timeline in there about, how women, progressed along and things like that. Eventually I want to have what I call a Ada Lovelace Day. And Ada Lovelace Day is an international day in October. And Ada Lovelace was the first, people consider her to be the first computer programmer back in the 1800s in England. She couldn't go to college because women couldn't go to college back then. But a guy that created the first computer, one of the first computers, and they were mechanical back then. And so he needed the book he sent it to he's from England, sent it to information about the machine to a mathematician in France. And then when she interpreted the notes, she added her own notes. And that computer back in the 1800s, she talked about what it could do. And algorithms and things like that. So she became known as the first computer programmer, according to a lot of people in history. But 100 years later, she would get credit, just like, like people starting to get credit now. And that, did things a long time ago, just like a girl in the movie. What's her name?
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures, yeah. Yeah. So I just want to tell stories, Donnie. Yeah, I mean, I want little black girls to know the reason, or in black boys, the reason we don't have any blacks.
But you have a daughter. Don't slip up. Being a father of a daughter helps you think differently. I mean, typically boys raised as boys,
Yeah, but
we don't know much about raising girls.
But no, the reason I'm going to come back with a book for boys. But the reason I want to do that is because girls are just easy to work with. The money that's out there available for that and all of that, there's going to be more attention to that. Then you go, and the boys are harder because, so my thing is just trying to if I get one child, there's no black Nobel Prize winners ever in the sciences. So, but again,
there ain't been no black popes, and Christianity started in Africa. I ain't surprised.
Right. Yeah, but it's
Frankie
all
Beverly and Mays ain't never win no damn major award. Why is that?
Who's that?
Frankie Beverly and Mays.
Okay.
There ain't no way that I can let you go. But how the hell our Frankie Beverly and Mays don't get a major award? They talking about these damn rappers. What about Mays?
Well, I wouldn't give him one neither, though, Donnie, just so you know. I'm not a big Frankie Beverly fan as well.
You are going to hell, Ervin Reid.
Okay.
Shame on you. Okay, I do have a question for you before I let you go.
Okay.
Imagine that. As black women are now, would you say that black women are rising like never before?
Absolutely.
Where's the black man in that?
Black men.
Now, let's put it out there. Going back to Jack Johnson, when I look at Robert Smith, it's been brought to my attention. I'm writing my 3rd book, and this is part of my research.
Okay.
You look at some cats in the NBA, they won't be courted with a black woman.
Okay.
And now black women, some, they looking beyond the black man for a significant other.
Okay.
Where is the black man as this black woman is ascending like never before? Stacey Abrams, politically, in business, Starbucks CEO, in science and technology, engineering and math. I see women, you said girls are easier to teach. What are we teaching little boys? Are we still teaching little boys that, that a woman is just an object of sexual gratification, or are we teaching little boys how to be better men?
Now, Donnie, I never said little girls are easier to teach. I said it's easier to work with little girls because if I'm going after money and things like that, it's just like if you're running for office, women will be accepted easier than a black male when they're running for office. So it's, especially with white males and all of that, so
you're saying it's more money to help black women than money to help black boys.
I'm saying that if I come with the package because they're double minority, and so you have a lot, corporations and things like that in the eyes of a lot of people, it's okay. I've got a double minority right here. So I've got a woman and I have a black person. So opportunities and things like that. And because black women are less feared than black men. Yeah.
Less threatening.
Less threatening. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing I'm saying about, no, I'm not saying they're easy to teach or none of that. I don't, I believe it depends on the individual and the circumstance that they're in. I don't know enough.
We got to do a better job raising our children. If our young men that we're raising today aren't getting better enlightenment from us as men, then our girls are going to far exceed them, and they're going to be looking beyond them as spouses, as potential mates.
Now, Donnie, that's way out of my pay grade.
You're the father of a daughter. You know this better than me.
No, but from what I'm trying to do, though, I'm trying more so just to teach folks to do. And the reason, like I say, coming out with women would be easier than I'll come out with boys. But to answer your question about, especially in politics, and even if you go back to like when I was at Bowie, the Deltas, the AKAs, the sororities were more true to their cause than I think the fraternities. If I'm running a campaign in Prince George's County, I'm not reaching out. I'm a Sigma. I'm not reaching out to the Sigmas, the Alphas, and all of them. They ain't coming. But Delta, the AKAs, Zetas, all of them are going to come.
The black woman has been the backbone.
Right.
The unsung hero, the non-celebrated one in the black community who's held it together, the Big Mamas. But Big Mama she a CEO now. Big Mama driving a huge whip. Big Mama vacationing in Seychelles off the coast of Africa, Madagascar. Big Mama ain't the Big Mama of our day. Big Mama might have a tattoo.
Yeah, but Donnie Black, look, with Calvin Hawkins, I'm running his campaign. And one of the things we're going to do is Men for Hawkins. And you're going to see something that hasn't been done in this. This is going to be a powerful statement with the number of brothers that I'm getting together. And you just need to be organized. I think it depends. I believe that your faith is on you. I believe that we the people and I'm part of the we. And I don't care about they. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use men in a certain way. And since there is this narrative about how black men are, we're going to show them that we are and use that as a platform. But yeah, so all of the things, again, just being in politics, as long as I've been in politics, I don't see a right or lot of, sometimes some things are right or wrong. Other things is just a difference of opinion. And I tend to go more of like with Mike Miller. You say I look at him a different way. I'm not, but I do look in the mirror and say that if it doesn't get done, that's not on them. That's on us. Especially now back in the day,
way black people kowtowed to Mike Miller. Joan Carter Conway, she was one that punched him right in his mouth, punched him right in his mouth. Because he talked to us real greasy. And then he set the precedent for the way Martin O'Malley would talk greasy to black people. And then when Kwesi and Fume ran for U.S. Senate, they just dismissed him.
Right. But he didn't talk.
I watched the way they carried it. And for me, as a black man, I saw a particular disdain from them when it came to black men. Just like you see in the prison system. We are 5%. America represents 5% of America's of the world's population, but we got 25% of the world's inmates. Black people, your numbers, man. Black people make up 13 to 15% of the population, but we are half of the people incarcerated.
Okay, so Donnie, did you support?
So the numbers are not in our favor.
Did you support Obama? What did he do about it?
You know I supported Obama. I had to support the black president.
No, you didn't. No, you need to look at you. Look, we can't.
I had to support it. I had to support it. I supported it on the basis of Jackie Robinson, that you're not gonna get your John Amos. You ain't gonna get your Toussaint Louverture in there the first time.
Okay.
You gotta send Jackie Robinson.
But tell that to a parent that lives in what's that Trenton, what's it, Flint, Michigan, whose kid has issues, gonna have lifelong issues because the water is bad.
I voted for Michelle. That's who I voted for. I voted for Michelle.
No, but what I'm saying, Don, we got to stop complaining.
I'm not taking that back. I would have did it and I would do it again.
Okay, yeah, but then you can't complain, Donnie. That you can't complain when things ain't going
right.
Yes, I can. It's on you.
I ain't vote for Ronald Wilson Reagan. He was the devil. You know, his number was 6. You know, the number was 666 the day he was elected.
Okay. Yeah, but all I'm saying,
he's the one that brought Iran-Contra crack to the community.
Okay.
With his wife talking about just say no. And that's what I told the non-black lady in my alley, just say no.
Okay. But Donnie, since we're doing Black History Month, let me tell you who Mike didn't talk to like that and didn't get it back at him. Wayne Curry. When they were building the stadium in Prince George's County, Wayne Curry said, I'm not putting $1 into the stadium. And Glenn Denning and Mike Miller both said, look, Wayne, you have to, because the state's going to put $300 million. You got to put in money. And he said, I'm not. He never put $1 in. Now, the FBI came and all that type of stuff. I'm all over the newspaper, FBI at my door, talking about, we done some stuff. The Washington Post, Border Reporter, now you're going to take the hits. But he didn't do it. That's what I'm saying. So if Mike Miller disrespects somebody, that's on them. Yeah, it's going to be like, man, Wayne will be, you can kiss my, that's it. And like, I remember a guy told him, man, it's a damn shame, Wayne, as black people, we got to work twice as hard, to get half as much. And he said, you a damn fool. If I work twice as hard, I'm going to get at least twice as much. Well, I'm not looking at myself like you looking at me. And what I'm saying, you can't complain if you're not out here, holding people responsible. So if people are in office that can do certain things and they don't do it, I'm not blaming somebody. I grew up in Cherry Hill. If you went to school with somebody took your lunch money, your lunch money, you gotta go back and tell my brother, I was the youngest. My brother started, I left the house. No. Because once they take your lunch money, especially if they're bigger than you, then that's his problem. That's no longer my problem. But if I give it away, that's my problem. So no, if we're going to give our power away, why are you mad at them?
We thank God for Wayne Curry because he was one of the few black people who did look out for black people. We get a lot of people in there, including names mentioned on this page, on this show, black people who only looked out for themselves. And they still look out for themselves.
Wayne Curry took the hits. Let me be clear. Like
these,
I say,
these people took for themselves. A lot of them took for themselves. Black, when you got politicians that get clipped, get kicked out of the House of Delegates, get kicked out of the Senate for small amounts of money. And at the end of the day, you see that they did more to serve themselves than the community. It's despicable. But we got to get out of here, man. My chairman's been looking at me. We going into his doggy time. Any follow thoughts? How can people get in touch with you? Let me continue to do my thing. I'm working with Calvin Hawkins on his campaign. So Calvin Hawkins for county executive of Prince George's County.
Well, he's running for something. Yep. So I want to prepare him. Yep. For whatever he's running for. Yep. So we want to be, this is going to be my last, hopefully my last election, but this will be the best of them all. Yep. This is going to be like historic. I mean, I've been in my laboratory just having fun, playing with things, putting some things together. So watch out. The next time he runs, you're going to see something special. Like I say, especially with men. Yeah, we're going to kill that narrative right there. Yeah.
Good deal.
So that's it.
Ervin Bernard Reid. He's rich, raised in Cherry Hill, Baltimore's own, Maryland politics.
And everybody, when you see Donnie, remember it's Emmy nominated Donnie Glover. No longer just Donnie Glover, Emmy nominated. Congratulations again, my brother.
Love you, big brother. Thank you to Tyrone Taborn Career Communications Group. Good morning, world.